This case, simply put, is wild. It bleeds into various crimes and claims around the world, including a policeman's murder in Bulgaria, state capture plots in that country, a claimed killing on a yacht at sea, wanted international suspects skulking around South Africa, and assassinations in the leafy Cape Town suburb of Constantia. The deeper I dive into the story, the more bizarre it becomes. It's almost as if reality itself is bending, with each new revelation becoming more outlandish than the last. The world's biggest crypto scam is still the focus of police investigators, and the woman at the center of it all is nowhere to be found. Ruja Ignatova is arguably the world's most wanted woman. She's at the center of the biggest ever global billion-dollar crypto fraud scheme, OneCoin. The US is offering a $5 million reward for her arrest. Now German cops believe that claims she was murdered a few years ago are fake, and they're asking, is Ruja Ignatova actually hiding out in South Africa? Hi, I'm Caryn Dolley, and I'm an author and journalist at Daily Maverick. Take the money and run and blame someone else for this. According to the US's Internal Revenue Service, this is contained in an email sent on the 9th of August 2014 from the world's most wanted woman to an associate. This is another message that Ruja Ignatova sent to an associate on the 11th of June 2014. And I quote, "I'm especially good at this very borderline cases where the things become grey and you as the magic sales machine and me as someone who can really work with numbers, legal and back you up in a good and professional way, we could really make it big like MLM, multi-level marketing, meets bitch of Wall Street." End quote. The intrigue surrounding Ruja Ignatova has drawn journalists from across the world, yet, as I've been warned, not everyone who claims to be a journalist may have the best intentions. Some may in fact work for Bulgarian organized crime bosses who are trying to fish for information. Now, whether that's fact or fiction, this is still a crazy and frenetic transnational criminal matrix. So let me simplify things by focusing on various elements making up the entire Cryptoqueen saga. Let's start with the woman herself. The Cryptoqueen, Ruja Plamenova Ignatova, was born in Bulgaria on the 30th of May 1980. Bulgaria, like other countries including South Africa, has a textured criminal landscape. Take a listen to this Euronews insert on Bulgaria's battle against mafiosos.
Nobody knows these men's faces. They are members of Bulgaria's Special Counter-Terrorism Unit, the SOBT. It took Euronews several months to obtain permission to enter this top-secret training ground in the suburbs of Sofia. Earlier this year, Bulgaria was slammed by the EU in a highly critical report. It said organized crime in Bulgaria was unique compared to other EU nations because it exercises a deep influence over the country's economy. Kidnappings, contract killings, sex, drugs and cigarette trafficking. Bulgarian gangs are highly organized and well-connected, both to shady Bulgarian businessmen and to fellow criminals around the world.
Ignatova was born in Bulgaria and later became a German citizen. She's a key founder of OneCoin that started operating about a decade ago in 2014. Now, if you search for videos of OneCoin-related events, you'll see it's very over the top, and the thinking was clearly to convey the promise of glitz and glamour, like of big money. This is Ignatova herself talking in a video address about 8 years ago.
We have been growing very, very fast. Sometimes people even come to me and say, "But Dr. Ruja, did I miss the opportunity? Is it over? What do we do now?" And the answer is, actually, this is just the beginning. Everybody needs to know OneCoin's name in China and globally. We are currently here and can go up, 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 much higher. This is where Bitcoin was after 1 year, and imagine where they are now. The sky really is the limit for us. So much potential.
So the US government has before summarized how Ignatova went from the founder of what was sold to the public as a promising, exciting crypto firm to a most wanted crime suspect. It alleged that OneCoin, and I quote, defrauded investors from across the world out of billions of dollars. By 2017, OneCoin was believed to have defrauded victims of more than $4 billion. Take a listen to this clip about Ignatova from this podcast, Inside the FBI.
Ignatova used a number of tactics to gain investors. First, she targeted people who may not have fully understood the ins and outs of cryptocurrencies, but were moved by her impressive resume, OneCoin's marketing strategies, and the excitement surrounding cryptocurrencies. As part of that, OneCoin is said to have used many of the terms associated with virtual currencies, but not the actual practices.
In October 2017, Ignatova was indicted in the US. She was charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Okay, so this is where things start getting super murky. Ignatova effectively disappeared the month the US indicted her, October 2017. Up until this point, she had a prolific presence on social media. There's still videos of her lavish birthday parties on YouTube. This was not someone who shied away from the spotlight. But around the time Ignatova was indicted in the US, her usual online presence suddenly stopped, and she could not be traced. According to US authorities, she traveled from Bulgaria's capital, Sofia, to Athens in Greece, and then poof, she basically disappeared. She's been a fugitive ever since then. Fast forward to March 2022, and a former policeman who was once accused of leaking sensitive information to those not meant to have it, Lyubomir Ivanov, was fatally shot in Sofia, Bulgaria. According to media reports, documents found in Ivanov's home following his murder suggest that the Cryptoqueen, Ruja Ignatova, may have been killed in November 2018 on a yacht in the Ionian Sea, which is somewhere between Greece, Italy, and Albania. She was basically, according to these theories, dismembered and her body thrown overboard. Now, if you check online for condolence messages for Ignatova, they don't seem to be there. Okay, so this is where crimes, claimed and otherwise, crisscross between countries and sort of spread out. The year after ex-cop Ivanov was killed in Sofia, in 2023, 4 people from Bulgaria, Krasimir Kamenov, his wife Gagana, also known as Jerry, and 2 of their employees were fatally shot in their home in the upmarket Cape Town suburb of Constantia in May 2023. I reported exclusively for Daily Maverick that the Kamenov couple was involved in business linked to another murdered duo, also originally from Bulgaria, Angelo Dymov and his wife Nezabravka Piva. Dymov and Piva were assassinated 5 years before the Kamenovs. They were killed on the 12th of February 2018 in a home in Bergflit, and that's about 5 kilometers from where the Kamenovs lived in Constantia. So I revealed that Dymov and Kamenov had been in business together. At the time of his 2018 killing, Dymov had been facing criminal charges relating to a credit card scam in South Africa. And at the time of his 2023 murder, Kamenov was wanted in Bulgaria. Kamenov was accused of being involved in the killing of Lyubomir Ivanov. Ivanov is, of course, the ex-cop who was fatally shot in Sofia in 2022, and in whose home documents were apparently found suggesting Ignatova was killed at sea. It gets murkier. A day after Kamenov's May 2023 killing, the Bureau of Investigative Reporting and Data in Bulgaria, a partner in the Global Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, said he had been its source for police reports about Ignatova's apparent murder. Kamenov's murder kicked up wide-ranging suspicions about criminality, some of it politically driven in both South Africa and Bulgaria. And we're talking high-level issues here. Ivan Geshev was Bulgaria's chief prosecutor, and before he was dismissed from that post, he revealed an alleged state capture-style plot to have him removed from office. He accused Kamenov of driving it. And I reported that about 6 weeks before Kamenov was killed, the prosecutor's office in Bulgaria publicized a bundle of alleged evidence. That apparent evidence suggested that Kamenov was among a group of Bulgarian men with key contacts, ranging from journalists to those close to government, who were monitoring individuals moving in high-level Bulgarian political circles. It was alleged the group was planning a US and European Union-based plot to oust some of Bulgaria's top law enforcers, presumably to derail investigations they were busy with. There was a counter-theory that the law enforcers were actually corrupt and churning out disinformation to distract from their own dirty acts. Now, if some of this sounds familiar, it's because similar accusations have previously surfaced in South Africa in relation to state capture, with some now former police officers alleging they were the target of a campaign or campaigns to get rid of them because they were exposing corruption among fellow cops. Back to all things Ignatova. Aside from state capture accusations, Kamenov's killing sparked several theories and suspicions about her. In the months after his killing, when speaking to various sources, some said they suspected, or they kind of peddled the idea, that Ignatova was among those shot dead in the Kamenov's Constantia home. Now, there was nothing to substantiate that, and when I previously asked police for the identities of those murdered in that incident, Ignatova was not named as one of them. Other suspicions surfaced following the Kamenov killings, including that Ignatova had fled to Dubai or that she had plastic surgery to disguise herself and was hiding out in the Kamenov's Cape Town neighborhood, Constantia. So, adding some substance to an aspect of that, like a really bizarre theory, is that a wanted poster from the US Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, states Ignatova may have had plastic surgery or otherwise altered her appearance. Some sources believe international intelligence agencies are involved in protecting Ignatova and are peddling ideas of her whereabouts and strange related stories to distract from where she really is. This, they say, is to ensure her safety and confuse their targets, as she may be an invaluable figure in their OneCoin and other organized crime investigations. Nothing concrete emerged to substantiate the theory that Ignatova was in Constantia. In November 2024, police in Germany confirmed to me that they were looking into whether Ignatova may be alive, and in fact, in South Africa. So news about Ignatova possibly being in this country initially surfaced in Germany. I followed up on that, and on the 15th of November 2024, Daniela Dassel, a spokesperson for the German State Criminal Police, said that because there was nothing conclusive to prove Ignatova was dead, it was assumed, and I quote, that Ruja Ignatova is alive. The search for her therefore continues. Dassel also said investigators were following up on clues that pointed to the possibility that the wanted person, in other words, Ignatova, was in South Africa. Before all this, in June 2023 already, shortly after the Kamenov killings, I reported that Ignatova had links to this country. After Ignatova effectively disappeared, around October 2017, her younger brother, Konstantin Ignatov, took over heading OneCoin, which was also known as OneLife. Take a listen to Konstantin Ignatov talking about OneLife in this clip.
You here are the biggest strength of us. We hit the 3 million milestone, which is really an amazing achievement.
And this is all thanks to you amazing teams and all the amazing leaders.
I hope that all of you achieved your goals in this year, and I really hope you help others achieve theirs.
More than 700 diamonds, 154 blue diamonds, and 31 black diamonds. I don't think that any other network in this world can offer you this.
So while looking into all this, I found several photographs that Ignatov posted to his Instagram account about 6 years ago, around 2018, that showed he had visited Cape Town. A photo of him sitting alongside a baboon, and the backgrounds and other images, mountains and sea, plus captions to the pics, make it clear he was in the mother city. In 2019, Ignatov was arrested at Los Angeles International Airport and was later convicted in the US for his role in OneCoin. Ignatov was released from a US jail in March 2024, and it seems he headed back to Bulgaria. Now, I previously reported that when Ignatov was arrested in the US in 2019, he had been with a man named Duncan Arthur, who has citizenship in Ireland and South Africa. According to a February 2023 document addressed to Bulgaria's Department of Justice, Arthur had suggested that claims that Ignatova was killed at sea in 2018 were false, because her brother had been in contact with her. Arthur claimed in the document, and I quote, "I know that Konstantin was in regular and direct phone contact with Ruja as late as March 2019, long after the alleged murder plot." So, if what Arthur has put forward is true, it would mean that Konstantin Ignatov may have been in contact with his sister while he was in South Africa around 2018, the same year some claims suggest she was murdered at sea. On the 14th of November 2024, I contacted Konstantin Ignatov via Instagram Messenger to ask if he would respond to questions, but it seems he then blocked me because I could no longer access his profile. So where does this leave us? Is Ruja Ignatova alive? Is she in South Africa? I've said it before, truth and fact in murky organized crime arenas often take the form of a dead body or bodies. In this case though, there are only claims that Ignatova was murdered. There is no body. So let's focus on what we know around that. Several individuals have been convicted and jailed over the OneCoin saga. Many people, victims, have lost out on big money. Lives have been deeply affected. As for Ruja Ignatova, in November 2024, police in Germany confirmed to me that there is no evidence backing up the idea that she was murdered, and they were following clues about her whereabouts that led to South Africa. And now news reports have subsequently emerged that Ignatova may be in Russia. Be that as it may, a few months ahead of all this, in June 2024, the US Department of State announced a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to Ignatova's arrest or conviction. We also know that ahead of that, in 2022, 4 years after her claimed murder, she became one of the top 10 suspects wanted by the US's FBI. Would US law enforcers advertise a reward or label Ignatova as wanted if they suspected she was murdered? Would they go through all that trouble? I don't know. It was in between those US actions, in May 2023, that Krasimir Kamenov, his wife Gagana, and 2 other Bulgarians were murdered in his Constantia home in the case that sparked a frenzy of suspicions that other organized crime suspects from Bulgaria, possibly even Ignatova herself, were hiding out in South Africa. And let's not forget that based on Instagram photographs, Ignatova's brother, Constantin, was in Cape Town around 2018, the very year that claims suggest Ignatova was murdered elsewhere at sea. The mystery of the Cryptoqueen remains unsolved. While investigators continue to piece together the puzzle, billions of dollars are at stake. As we look deeper into this complex case, we may uncover more shocking truths and bring justice to the victims. Want to keep independent journalism alive? Become a Maverick Insider today. For less than a cup of coffee a week, you can support our work and get amazing perks. Check the description below for more information.